Hey everyone, Jason Weckerle here, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm going out for some white bass, rock bass, bluegill, panfish, and I'm gonna see if I can scratch out just enough to feed my wife, me, and a couple buddies of mine, or maybe my in-laws. I've been planning a couple different fish fries lately. And I ran into a school of white bass the other day, and I threw back every single one of them, but I think that keeping a few of them for a fish fry is not going to hurt anything. So I'm just taking you guys along on this adventure to see if those fish are still there. It's a cold front. It already looks like it's going to be a bluebird sky day, so I don't know what to really expect. Let's see what we can do. Let's catch some fish. This house right here was built in 1846. They converted it into like a duplex type place, but wow. It's actually a part of the National Register of Historical Places. Pretty damn cool. I like to call it the White House for obvious reasons, but it's amazing seeing that history is still around with us today. Beautiful gate. Little duck who thinks he's rich walking over there. Let's catch some fish. Beautiful sunrise. Calm. You couldn't ask for a better morning. The type of gear I'm fishing for these white bass is simple. It's the same gear I use for panfish, crappies, bluegills, perch. 4-pound test Trilene XL monofilament line. 6.5, 7-foot light action or ultralight action rod. And I'm throwing 2-inch Rapala originals. I'm throwing 1/8 ounce Bill Lewis rattle traps, Mr. Twisters on 16th ounce jig heads. Simple stuff. We got fish jumping, so I better start fishing. I'm gonna start the day out with a black and white 2-inch Rapala original. Got one. Oh, got one. There we go. Nice. First cast. Oh, there's other ones following them. Check this out. Wow. It is the butt crack of dawn. And we already got our first white bass. Awesome. The thing is with this particular lake, this doesn't happen very often where you get any number of white bass around. You get a few. Once in a while the conditions are right and you get a good number of them that come in, but then it's like 1 or 2 days later they're gone. It's not like river fishing. Oh, got one. Got another one. He might have brothers following. Oh, yep, he's got brothers following him. Oh my God. Look at this. Fish number 2. Pretty damn cool catching some nice sized white bass, but there's monsters in here. One's so big I wouldn't even keep them. All right, caught fish number 2. And I missed one. I've only been down here for about 7 minutes. Trying the Bill Lewis rattle trap out right now. Something I can just cast and reel. It's loud, pisses them off, gets their attention. That was a fish. These are the baits I use for crappies, white bass, yellow bass, perch. Smallmouth hit these baits. Well, smallmouth hit anything. Pike will hit anything too. I've caught walleyes on these baits. But these are the tiniest size Etz wrap, the 1/8 ounce rattle trap. Get yourself some spinners like rooster tails and stuff, small flicker shads and small little crankbaits. Sorry if the camera blurred out. Hair jigs, 1/16, 1/32 ounce and 1/8 ounce jig heads. Sometimes blade baits work. I mean, sometimes blade baits, they shake like a rattle trap, but they don't have sound. Sometimes sound does not always work. Little Castmasters and Cleos and little spoons. Just think little and think bait fish or bug or worm. You're gonna catch yourself a lot of panfish. I'm gonna tie on a rooster tail spinner right now. The rattle trap wasn't working. Using a rooster tail spinner right now in the 1/8 ounce size and silver and white. I had white bass follow just about everything I threw past them when I first got here.
Oh, got one. There we go.
I was about to say, and then they stopped biting, but
There we go.
perfect size eater too. Nothing giant, but yeah. There we go. Another eater. I caught that, well, the past couple white bass just on a rooster tail spinner, 1/8 ounce silver and white. I keep all my baits about 2 inches long, no more than 3 inches when it comes to white bass. And you catch a lot of other bonus fish too, like smallmouth, walleyes, pike. Always make sure there's no seaweed stuck on the lure, on the back, on the spinning clevis. Keep it clean and keep the wire that the bait is made on straight. That'll help you out more than anything. Back to the floating Rapala. I tried top water, nothing's blowing up. Nothing's blowing up but these white bass. When I can get some schools to come through. That's why I don't want to keep any more than maybe 10. I seen guys down here filling coolers full of them years ago. I haven't even seen enough numbers of white bass since then to fill coolers full of them. They're either here or they're not, and that's what overfishing can do to a population of fish. That's why I wish the DNR in Wisconsin would put limits on white bass and rock bass. They both taste good. Rock bass tastes like bluegill, white bass tastes like crappie. I keep fish, but there's no reason to keep too many fish. There's no reason to sit there and keep every fish you catch. Plain and simple. This topwater bait right here, the Rapala Skitterwalk, is made to look like a bluegill. This bait right here is made to look like a fathead minnow, a shiner, a smelt, anything that looks like a minnow. This bait right here, even though it's a spinner, just a silver flash in the white tail can look like a minnow swimming through the water. And then the black and silver Rapala original, one of the most legendary lures ever made. The most legendary lure ever made, in my opinion. Black and silver, black and gold, looks like a minnow, shiner, smelt, alewife, sucker. If you get a perch pattern one, looks like a perch. But on clear lakes, semi-clear lakes, try to concentrate on matching minnows, panfish, worms and crayfish, and leeches. Let's see what's inside this probably 80-year-old boathouse. I'm not sure if making this move was the wisest choice. The white bass definitely slowed down. Oh, there's a fish. There's one in there. Looks like a white bass. Oh, got one. Yeah. That sucker's fighting. Everything fights on an ultralight rod and 4-pound line, but it's a white. Oh, and there's other white bass following it. Look at this. Look. There they are. Wow. So there's more of them in there. So maybe I made the right move. Awesome. Let's get some more. Perfect eater size. When it's about 11 inches long, those are the size of the white bass you want to keep. Those bigger ones don't taste nearly as good. Ooh, there's a pike sitting down here. Got one. Got one. I knew there'd be something up by this dam. Don't know what it is yet. It's fighting pretty damn good too. Probably a white bass, but could be a smallie, could be a walleye. What is it? Big white bass, along with another one following them. There we go. Nice. There we go. Got him. Got another one. Perfect keeper. I'm only using 4-pound line, so I better be careful how I lift these fish up, especially using an $8 lure. A lure I used to pay $3 for when I was a kid is now $8. Another nice keeper. Well, now I'm dealing with a guy in a boat. He caught one white bass, but the fishing has slowed down since he came in here with his boat, which I've never understood, fishing shore fishing spots out of a boat when you could find fish anywhere in a boat. But it's whatever. These fish are gonna move around. I'll catch more. No big deal. Oh, got myself a little smallmouth bass. Or is that a largemouth? It is a smallmouth. Little guy, but it's a smallmouth. I'm gonna walk into this old boathouse full of spiders. See what's in here. This is pretty cool. I've caught walleyes, bass, white bass out of here. I just don't want to get caught up with some spiders, but just trying to move myself across here without falling. Here we go. This is actually pretty cool. This is an old boathouse that's probably 80 years old, maybe 100 years old. Ugh, spiders. See what's over here under this bridge. Wasn't the safest thing to do, but you gotta be Indiana Jones sometimes to get to a fishing spot. On the good old rooster tail. An oldie but a goodie. There we go. Good little keeper. Perfect size. I just took one more cast, got another one. These are just good eating size ones. I don't want to keep those big ones. I like catching them, but there's white bass up to 20 inches long in this lake. There's no way I'd be eating a fish that big and that old. It's kind of like eating a 28-inch walleye. It's just not going to taste as good. The two baits I've been using all morning long are the white 1/8 ounce silver and white rooster tail and the black and white 2-inch Rapala original. If it looks like a minnow and you can work it slow enough, they're going to eat it. Alright, I switched back to my first spot, trying this spot for a little bit more. I only need a few more fish for a family fish fry. Later on today, we might get some storms as well. But let's see what happens, hope for the best. Let's get a few more. Alright, got ourselves a yellow bass. Not a bad size one either. He'll flay. If you don't know the difference between a yellow bass and a white bass, yellow bass are a little bit more yellow tinted, but their bars are broken up. You can see they're not all straight. A white bass's bars are all straight. That's the difference between a yellow and a white bass. I just had a huge school of yellow bass following. Yellow bass don't grow as big as white bass do, but they taste equally as good. As long as you eat white bass and yellow bass, or crappies and rock bass out of cold water no warmer than 70 degrees, they're pretty damn good. I got a school right there in front of me. I know the GoPro doesn't pick it up that well, but that's pretty awesome seeing them follow around and mess with you like that. Let's see if they'll hit the Rapala. Another yellow bass. Not a bad size one. I got another yellow bass, but I have its entire school following it. Pretty cool. Oh, got another one. I'm getting a little tired right now, so I might go home, take a nap, and then go do some fishing later on today. Well, I had a pretty good morning of white bass fishing here. I kept about 15 of them, threw back probably about 15 more. I didn't want to keep too many. I just wanted enough to feed 5-6 people because I want to have a family fish fry or a fish fry with some friends. But these are delicious fish. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. White bass, yellow bass, crappies, rock bass, they all pretty much taste the same as long as you get them out of cold water, water that's below 70 degrees. If you bleed them out by cutting their gills in their throat, keep them on ice, keep them cold, flay the mud line off of them. I mean, even a walleye has a mud line on their meat, so just flay that mud line off of any species of fish you're flaying and you'll get better tasting meat. Keep the fillets cold, fresh, and I mean, these are nice white bass, nice yellow bass. I threw back some that I thought I was recording with my GoPro and I wasn't. Kind of pissed me off because I had one that was probably 18-19 inches long, absolute monster. But I caught them all on 2-inch Rapalas, little 1/8 ounce rooster tail spinners, basic white bass fishing gear. That's been stuff that's been working since those lures came out decades ago. White bass are not hard to catch once you find them, but they're really interesting to catch in clear water. But I'm gonna take a nap, and I'll see you guys later on in this video, hopefully catching some fish.